Moussaka is one of the most popular dishes in Greece, and I'm going to show you some tips that I picked up when I was in Greece. This is so good. Wait till you try this. So I had some eggplant that I grew in the garden. So I did end up slicing it to about 1/4 of an inch thick. You want to go ahead and salt it and just let it sit. In the meantime, you're going to saute your ground beef over medium heat. You want to put 1 onion that is chopped, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 1 cinnamon stick, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves, and you know how I feel about herbs. I like to season my hamburger meat with fresh herbs. I have picked the herbs out of my garden and threw them in the freezer, so I took out basil and fennel and threw a handful in there. Use whatever herbs you like. 1 teaspoon of oregano and 1/2 cup of tomato sauce and 1 whole clove of garlic. Let that simmer. While your hamburger meat is simmering for about 30 minutes, I sliced up my potatoes and I deep fried them. So if you don't want to deep fry them, you can put them in the oven and bake them. But this is one of the important secrets to really good moussaka, is to fry your potatoes. Once your potatoes are done, you set them aside, and now you just want to fry your eggplant. Using a large pot, we're going to make our bechamel sauce. So once you melt the butter, you're going to throw in and whisk your flour. So that's looking good. Now you're going to take your whole milk that has been warmed up and you're going to pour it right into the pot, and you're going to continue whisking over medium heat. You don't want to leave it alone at this point. You want to continue stirring with your whisk. Once you achieve this thickness, now you can go ahead and throw in 1/4 teaspoon of a nutmeg that's already ground up, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Give it a good whisk and set it aside to cool. Once it cools for about 10-15 minutes, you throw in your whisked eggs and give it a good stir till it's nice and combined. Now for the fun part, we want to take our pan and sprinkle olive oil on the bottom, and we're going to start from the bottom up. So we're taking our sliced tomatoes and we're going to start overlapping and covering the whole bottom. Good job, guys. So once this step is done, you're going to apply a little bit more salt and pepper and a tiny bit of olive oil. Now you want to take your potatoes and do the same thing. You're just going to layer your potatoes on the bottom and you want to overlap them. Once again, you want to season each and every layer with some salt and pepper. Your eggplant is also going to be placed in the same method, but you're not going to overlap the eggplant because we actually have 2 layers of eggplant. Hope you're having fun. So now the next step is to take your hamburger mixture and just spread that out. Your last layer of eggplant goes on now. a little bit more salt and pepper. And now for the bechamel sauce. You're just gonna pour the bechamel sauce over the top and spread it smoothly. You might need to take your spoon and put it in some water just to give it that nice smooth look. Your last step is to put some Parmesan cheese on top of all of the moussaka and throw it in a preheated 360-degree oven or 180 Celsius. I hope I've inspired you to make moussaka, or even better yet, plan your next trip to Greece. Love you guys.